we're going to be testing the top speed of this race preps Roadster, I guess. I kind of want to try the BMW Z8, but I'm going to tune this first since I don't have, I should say, credits in this game are at a premium for me, because while credits technically are free, my time is not free. And my time is at a premium, so credits are at a premium for me. And we're testing here because it's more interesting than the special stage oval. Not much more interesting. I'm just doing this straight. But it's more exciting backgrounds, like this dark tunnel. But outside the tunnel, it's Tokyo. All right, let's get into it. So these are the settings I have right now. Racing soft. I've just put in a low-end supercharger instead of the high-end, which actually, see, it doesn't, it changes by 10 horsepower at the top end, and it doesn't change it much at the low end, but it goes like 20 miles an hour faster with the low end for some reason. But we're not testing top speed. I'm going to show you in a minute with the car as it is. Oh, I didn't go through the settings. Let's do that real quick. Basically the same as before. This is the first page. This is the second page. Okay. Maximum downforce, top speed, test. Traction control to 5. There's just so much horsepower. The traction control is a big help compared to no traction control. I don't know the braking zone for this corner, so I'm braking early. And at the Nordschleife, I topped out around 180 miles an hour. I'm going 190, 200 with downforce. That means all the drag of downforce. Oh, 210. Broke a little bit early, but I'm not trying to make this corner. Oh, I am trying to make it a little bit. Anyway, around 210. I don't need to go that fast. That's too much. Too much horsepower, too much top end. Or not top end, too much top speed. So what would be better is to improve the cornering performance. So in order to achieve this much horsepower at 700 performance points, oh, I'm at 728. No wonder I'm going a little bit faster. Is I have all this not horsepower. I have all this ballast. Allows me to run higher horsepower. I don't need this much horsepower. Let's do the restrictor. The reason why I'm doing the restrictor is because while it lowers the top end, it moves the torque curve to lower RPMs. If you can see that change there. So I'm guessing probably around 580, 590. So this just does, if you look at the scale, the curve doesn't change much, but the the highest horsepower changes a lot. So I'm going to actually change this to, 93. It's just 1 point. I'll do 85. 85 is fine. So 585. What's the performance points? Oh, it's still too high. I actually need to lower it. I need to stay within 700 performance points anyway, so change that. All right, now let's test the top speed. The car is still a little bit sketchy to drive. The wheelbase is way too short. So now I'm back in the horsepower range I had when I was testing at the Nordschleife. So it tops out 193. Or is that 180? That's 190. Yeah, 193. I don't need to go 193. So I'm gonna lower it instead of to 590. I'm gonna go to 490. And then as the horsepower decreases, I should be able to reduce the weight, but also I need to change the gearing. Well, I really want to reduce this weight so I can get faster cornering speeds. There we go, close to 700, 100, almost 100 less kilograms of ballast removed. So this will improve my acceleration out of the corners. Let's see what the top speed gets up to. And I don't think I really need to go 180 miles an hour on the Nordschleife straight. I forgot what it's called. Dottinger, something like that. Easily in the 180s now, and I'm not even in 6th gear, so I can change the gearing now. And I think I can reduce the horsepower even a little bit more, because I don't even need to go to 190. Let's see. Let's go to 400. Oh, that's as low as it'll go. 400. Perfect. Okay, I can have more horsepower then. There we go. Let's actually get that 2%. There you go, 699.69. All right, now we can change the gearing. So generally, what I like to do when I'm topping out around 180 miles an hour, just change 6th to around 310. So I'm gonna use this. Oh, wrong button. So what does that change it to? 330. 290. Oh, wrong button again. 320. I think I'd go 1 point. Oh, wrong. I keep pressing the wrong dang button. 307. Close enough. And I can adjust the final drive to change it closer to my range. And I also want first gear to be pretty tall. 85 seems pretty good. Oh, there we go. Close enough. Let's try it as it is. First gear, I like around 110 with high horsepower because I don't need a lot of torque in first gear. The horsepower kind of overcomes the gear reduction. bit too slow. Need to add some weight. Oh, I don't know. Okay, 180, 181. Okay, that might be fine. I think it's perfect. Brake somewhere around here. This corner is slower than I expect. Well, now with the blower on there and the air restrictor has a much better torque curve for using more of the RPM for acceleration, whereas previously the car didn't, it could accelerate, but it didn't feel like it could accelerate compared to the top end and the low end. What I'm trying to say is comparatively, the bottom end felt gutless. Now it has some pretty good torque in the low end. I still need to adjust first gear. So what's interesting about that time I just got at 212, that's close to the times that the AI gets in the 600 performance point race on this track. However, if you drive this car in that race, even though it gets the same lap time, it's not competitive because all the AI just pass the slower cars, or for generally the player in the slower car, on the straight. And then they get in the way on the curves where the car is making up all the time to get that lap time. So this would not work very well in the, even though it's 700 pp, it would not work very well in the 600 pp race on this track. So let's see, change the car settings. I'm changing the gearing for the Nordschleife. So now that I have, this is already set. Now that I have 6th gear close to where I want it, I'm going to change this 1st gear to 110. There it is, close enough. Then I just space these gears, something like this, and it gives me a closer gear ratio transmission. Might need to do some tweaking to make them more evenly spaced. It's pretty close, but not quite close enough. Something like that. It's pretty close. I'm just looking at the top of the lines, the spacing between the very tops of the gear lines. Make sure they're evenly spaced. All right. Let's save it. Yeah. Now let's try out 1st gear here in this hairpin. I need to turn on traction control. So now that it doesn't have 800 horsepower, it's much easier to drive without traction control. So I can probably run traction control around 4, maybe 3, without too much horsepower loss. Oh, way too late. Or maybe not. Traction control at 3 now. It's drivable. I'm being very delicate with the thumbstick as I'm driving with the controller because it's still, like I said, it's a very short wheelbase, very twitchy. Try traction control at 2 now, just to see how it drives. Is this better in second or third? Second. Oh, too fast. Okay, oh, a little bit slippy. Traction control at 2. I'm gonna try it at 1. Oh, a lot of it slippy. Yeah. I'm using the traction control as it should be used to make up for my lack of control fidelity. So since the controller trigger, the throttle trigger, I guess you could call it, is such short travel, it's hard to have high fidelity inputs to control the car, and so the traction control is making up for my lack of skill, essentially, just as it does in real life. Oh, I need to be in first gear there. But I like excuse me, I keep stuttering here when I say traction control. I like the traction control at 2. Do another lap. So now I'm getting the 209s, and still this car will not be competitive for the 600 pp race, even though it's at 700 performance points. little bit slippy there. Oop. Whoopsie. Oh, shoot. Not going to make for a very good replay. Oh. And that's why this car has a wheelbase not long enough for the horsepower. Or the grip, even. The car has race tires on. I'm going to try to get a good lap. So one more lap. So twitchy on the brakes. Almost dropped it again right there in that corner. Lost a few tenths down this straight because of that spin up. Yeah, that was lap 4. Till the next one.